This is Shred, and today I'm going to show you secret metal chords in the style of Randy Rhoads, getting exotic sounds from the Phrygian Dominant mode, and answering your questions about music theory. The perfect stay-at-home activity. You can get the tab for everything I play in this video at my Patreon page below. So grab your axe and let's get to it. Play guitar as fast as me? Never gonna happen. Now, you may never play as fast as the Swede for speed, but you can at least learn the same scales. Would you mind to do a simple but melody lick in Phrygian Dominant mode? I mean in fully Arabic but sounds totally metal. Smiley face, devil face. I've got you covered, bro. Now those licks were in the key of A Phrygian Dominant, which is relative to D harmonic minor. This is easily Malmsteen's favorite scale of all time. So the Arabic or exotic sound you're talking about has a lot to do with using the right articulations, like slides, or the way that you bend notes. Kind of like that quick bend. Just tighten up and then release. But the most important thing is to outline the chord progression of the mode. So the Phrygian Dominant primary chords in the key of A are A and B flat. What sample libraries are you using for your compositions? Well, I use two main sample libraries in my orchestral programming. One is the Vienna Smart Orchestra, and the other is the BBC Symphony Orchestra. This is like the Hans Zimmer thing. I'm not that good at orchestral programming, to be honest, but it's a great musicianship exercise. You learn a lot about orchestration, arranging. And the other thing is I noticed that when I'm playing guitar, I become more musical because I have a broader perspective of how things work in music. And if you don't know where to start when it comes to orchestrating things, try using specific compositional devices like pedal tones. Let's say I use an A pedal tone. And then play chords that fit with that. I don't always feel like a freak, but when I do, I make sure I'm on a leash. What is the best song of nu metal? Well, the nu metal genre contains bands like Limp Bizkit, Korn, Slipknot. My personal favorite, though, by far is Korn. I remember sneaking out of the house with my sister who had just gotten her driver's license, and I was like, hey, you got to take me to the store so I can buy Korn's self-titled release. This is back in '94. My parents weren't a fan. Also, I think their songwriting and studio production is just brilliant. They really have achieved a unique sound, and of course, Jonathan Davis's vocals are also very uncommon and unique sounding. If I had to pick a favorite track from them, I would say Falling Away From Me. It's got deliciously dissonant riffs, and the voice leading section in the bridge is highly sophisticated songwriting. Let's get out of here. This place is nothing but treble. What is the best way to go about learning to read sheet music? Well, of course, you got to start with just knowing what the notes on the staff are. So on the lines, you've got E, G, B, D, F. And a lot of people use the acronym Every Good Boy Does Fine. And then on the spaces, you've got the notes F, A, C, and E, which spell the word face. Now, Matteo Carcassi was one of the OG classical guitar gods, along with Fernando Sor and Mauro Giuliani. I got Carcassi's complete method book back in college, and it's got a lot of great reading exercises that will help you when it comes to reading music. Here's one of my favorites, and I'll have the tab below in the description. Just remember to use the music and not the tab. You could even block that part out if you wanted. Scientists have pinpointed the exact moment when Randy Rhoads shattered what was left of Ozzy's mind. What is your favorite chord? Extended chords and other unusual triads included? Well, that's a really good question. That always changes for me on a daily basis. But here's some of my favorites, including some Randy Rhoads, Diary of a Madman voicings, of course originally stolen from Leo Brouwer. I tend to think about chords as modes, which gives you some really unique voicings. I'll give you a quick example of this. Like, let's say you had a regular A major chord, right? If you wanted to make that Lydian, what you do is incorporate the tendency tone that's in the Lydian scale, which is the sharp 4. So now you might have something like this. What music are you listening to while under house arrest? Well, this new normal of self-isolation definitely gives us some extra time to check out music. And honestly, I've been listening to a lot of new music that my viewers share with me on Instagram. Septic Flesh, Ginger, Haken. I've got my own viral playlist as well. Cannibal Corpse's Evisceration Plague, Slayer's Epidemic. In fact, why don't you guys give me your best stay-at-home listening suggestions in the comments? You constantly judge others. Tell me just how perfect you are. What is your way for making a better music? Harmonizations, chords, recording, etc. Well, I like this question. Musical quality is subjective to a large extent. Oftentimes we don't create because we're scared of the judgment of others. I think studying compositional devices and stealing ideas from the great masters of the past is a great way to approach your songwriting though. Try using things like pedal tones. I'm using the open A here as a pedal. You might try using secondary diminished seventh chords. In terms of recording, this is something you got to do a lot of reps of, and the judgment thing really comes into play here. Just find your own voice by recording a lot, and don't worry about perfect, pristine studio quality. That will come as you do more reps. What you could do is say, I'm going to record one riff every day. That gives you a chance to get in your DAW or digital audio workstation and play around with the tools. You have to be allowed to fail when trying to find your sound. Black Sabbath didn't sound amazing guaranteed when they first got together. It was a long journey. You know, Iommi eventually figured out how to split the speaker cone and work with amplifier companies to get that distorted sound that he was after. But he didn't start there. Have you ever seen a raindrop and wondered if any of those billions of water atoms were ever inside you previously in your life? There's actually a scientific principle that states that matter can neither be created or destroyed. When you die, your atoms go to the ground, which helps trees grow and becomes raindrops. We're all kind of connected in that way. Scientific philosophy was shred. What is your favorite beer? And what is your preferred daily sipper when it isn't the right time for the heavy artillery? Well, right now I've been drinking a lot of Corona to raise awareness, but I'm a huge fan of a variety of beer styles: IPAs, stouts, porters, saisons. I even went to Belgium once and traveled around to the different monk monasteries where they produce great Belgian beer, like the Vesselitarian 12. That's a hard one to get a hold of. Dave Mustaine's beer is actually pretty good. And Iron Maiden's isn't bad either. That's it for this Q&A, guys. If you have a question for me, leave it in the comments below. This is the perfect time to stay at home and become a shred god. Until next time, shred till you're dead.